Expand your vocabulary with our core 2,000 words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Spanish ebook before it's gone.
Hi everybody, Rosa here. Welcome to As a Teacher, where I'll answer some of your most common Spanish questions. The question for this lesson is: how can I use the pronoun se reciprocally? In this lesson, we are going to focus on another common and important usage of the pronoun se. Okay, let's go! We can see the reciprocal pronoun se when we have two or more subjects who are doing the same action to each other. Here, se would function as the direct object, but will be the indirect object if there's another direct object that is formally expressed. Let's take, for example, Carlos y Juan se pelean, meaning Carlos and Juan fight with each other. Here, se acts as the direct object because the thing that they are fighting is themselves. Another example would be: los amigos se escriben cartas, literally meaning the friends write letters among them. Here, the direct object is cartas, letters, which is the thing that they are writing, and se acts as the indirect object as it's to whom the action goes. A helpful tip to identify this kind of se is to add el uno al otro, meaning to each other, el uno con el otro, literally meaning one with the other, mutuamente, meaning mutually, or recíprocamente, meaning reciprocally, to the end of the sentence. If the sentence's meaning doesn't change, we need to use reciprocal se. How was this lesson? Pretty interesting, right? Do you have any more questions? Please leave them in the comments below and I'll try to answer them. See you later. Hasta luego.
Welcome to SpanishPod101.com. Español en 3 minutos, the fastest, easiest, and most fun way to learn Spanish. Hola, soy Lucia. Mucho gusto. Hi, I'm Lucia. Nice to meet you. In this series, we're going to learn basic Spanish phrases. It's super easy and it only takes 3 minutes. In this lesson, you're going to learn how to introduce yourself in Spanish. You will be surprised at how easy it is. Are you ready? Listen again to my introduction. Hola, soy Lucia. Mucho gusto. Hi, I'm Lucia. Nice to meet you. Hola, soy Lucia. Mucho gusto. The first word is hola, which means hi or hello. After that comes soy, which means I am. Hola, soy, and then your name. Hola, soy Lucia means hi, I'm Lucia. Finally, say mucho gusto, which means nice to meet you. So all together it is: hola, soy Lucia, mucho gusto. Hi, I'm Lucia, nice to meet you. It's a polite and common way to greet someone. There is also another way to say your name. Instead of soy Lucia, you could say me llamo Lucia. Me llamo literally means I call myself, but we use it to mean my name is. Hola, me llamo Lucia. Mucho gusto. Hi, my name is Lucia. Nice to meet you. Hola, me llamo Lucia. Mucho gusto. Again, let's take a look at these 2 ways to introduce yourself. Hola, soy Lucia. Mucho gusto. Hi, I'm Lucia. Nice to meet you. Hola, me llamo Lucia. Mucho gusto. Hi, my name is Lucia. Nice to meet you. Now it's time for Lucia's Insights. People in Spanish-speaking countries greet each other by shaking hands. But depending on the situation, we often kiss each other on the cheek. So don't be surprised if this happens to you. Do you know how we say thank you in Spanish? You will learn how to say these and many other words in the next lesson. Hasta la próxima. See you then.
Hi everybody, Rosa here. Welcome to As a Teacher, where I'll answer some of your most common Spanish questions. The question for this lesson is: why is the adjective sometimes written before the noun in Spanish? In Spanish, adjectives are usually placed after the noun, but sometimes adjectives precede the noun. When that happens, some adjectives change their meaning. If we use these adjectives before the noun, the meaning is objective or descriptive. When it's placed after the noun, as usual, the meaning is subjective or connotative. Let's go through some examples so you can learn how to use adjectives before nouns correctly in Spanish. Let's take the adjective pobre, meaning poor. If you put the word pobre before the noun man, which is hombre, then the speaker could be implying that the pobre hombre, poor man, is someone he or she pities or someone who deserves sympathy. However, if you switch them, the phrase becomes hombre pobre. This would quite literally mean a man who has no money. Let's do another example with the adjective viejo, meaning old. If you add viejo to the word friend, which is amigo, you will get the phrase viejo amigo, old friend. In this case, viejo represents the length of time the speaker has been friends with that person. The same way you could say old friend in English. However, if you were to reverse the phrase and say amigo viejo, then you would be literally talking about a friend who is elderly. An important point to remember is that if the adjective is talking about the quality of a noun that's always the same, the position of the adjective doesn't change the meaning. For example, oscura noche or noche oscura both mean dark night, because night is always dark. The same way that fría nieve or nieve fría both mean cold snow, because snow is always cold. How was this lesson? Pretty interesting, right? Do you have any more questions? Please leave them in the comments below and I'll try to answer them. Hasta luego, see you soon!
Want to master grammar so you can speak properly, express yourself better, and understand more? In this video, I'll show you how to master grammar with our lessons and learning program. Let's begin. Number 1. Listen to the lesson conversations and explanations. In every lesson, you learn a conversation. Then, our teachers break down every word and grammar rule. So you're actually learning grammar rules in the context of conversations, and you can easily see how they're used. Once you're done, review the conversation again and again to remember what you've learned. Number 2. Read the bonus explanations and tutorials. With the lesson notes, you get extra grammar explanations and examples that are not presented in the lesson. After you're done with the lesson, read the lesson notes for extra review. You can even save them as PDFs so that you can access them anytime. Number 3. Leave a comment on the lesson. Once you've learned a grammar point, be sure to use it. Leave a comment in the comments section. Write some example sentences for practice. Our teachers will review your comment and give you feedback. Number 4. Unlock even more grammar lessons. If you want to find all of the grammar lessons available, visit our lesson library. Under Category, choose Grammar. You'll get all of the pathways and lessons dedicated to helping you learn and master sentence patterns and grammar points. So, if you're ready to finally learn a new language the fast, fun, and easy way, sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. Signing up takes less than 30 seconds, and you'll start speaking from your very first lesson. If you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share it with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye!
Hi everybody, Rosa here. Welcome to As a Teacher, where I'll answer some of your most common Spanish questions. The question for this lesson is: how do you make sentences negative in Spanish? You can make the most basic negative sentence just by adding no before the verb. For example, hoy es lunes is today is Monday. hoy no es lunes is today is not Monday. Here are some other common negative words. Nada, meaning nothing. Nadie, meaning nobody. Ninguno or ninguna, meaning no one. Nunca and jamás, meaning never. And tampoco, meaning neither. You can also use these words on their own or with no. So you can say nadie habla, which means no one speaks, but you could also say no habla nadie, which means the same thing. No hay nada en el refrigerador means I have nothing in the refrigerator. And like in English, double negatives are standard and acceptable, so you can use more than one negative word in a sentence. Actually, in Spanish, you never mix positive and negative words, so it's common to have 2, 3, or even 4 negative words in the same sentence. For example, in English we say María doesn't want anything. In Spanish we would say María no quiere nada. Remember, nada means nothing, so the direct translation into English would be something like María doesn't want nothing. You can even say María no quiere nada nunca for María never wants anything, which uses 3 negative words. Ningún changes form depending on the noun it's attached to. For masculine nouns, you say ningún. And for example, no tengo ningún libro would be I don't have any books. If you use ningún without using the masculine noun, you use ninguno. Say you're responding to the question, ¿Tienes algún libro? Which is, do you have any books? You would say, no, no tengo ninguno. No, I don't have any. For feminine nouns, you use ninguna in both situations. Not so bad, right? If you have any more questions, please leave a comment below and I'll try to answer them. ¡Hasta luego!
Welcome to Can Do Spanish by SpanishPod101.com.
Hola a todos. Soy Víctor Trejo. Hi everyone. I'm Víctor Trejo. In this lesson, you'll learn how to introduce yourself in Spanish.
This is Mark Lee, and he's on a plane to Mexico. Angel Salazar, a passenger sitting next to him, introduces himself by saying, Hi, I'm Angel. Nice to meet you.
Hola, soy Ángel. Mucho gusto.
Listen to the conversation and focus on Mark's response. Note, even though this is their first encounter, both Angel and Mark use only their first names. Ready?
Hola, soy Ángel. Mucho gusto.
Mucho gusto. Soy Mark.
Once more with the English translation.
Hola, soy Ángel. Mucho gusto.
Hi, I'm Angel. Nice to meet you.
Mucho gusto. Soy Mark.
Nice to meet you. I'm Mark.
Let's take a closer look at Mark's response.
Do you remember how Mark Lee introduces himself? Nice to meet you. I'm Mark.
Mucho gusto. Soy Mark.
First is the expression,
Mucho gusto.
meaning, nice to meet you.
Mucho gusto. Mucho gusto.
This expression literally means much pleasure, but translates as nice to meet you.
Mucho gusto.
This expression can be used in any situation, from an informal encounter to a business meeting. Do you remember how Mark says,
I'm Mark.
Soy Mark.
First is
Soy,
I am.
soy, soy,
Note
soy,
is a shortened form of,
yo soy,
in Spanish,
yo,
I is usually omitted,
soy,
is from the verb
ser,
meaning to be in Spanish.
ser,
Next is the name,
Mark,
Mark.
Mark,
Together, it's
soy Mark,
I'm Mark.
Soy Mark.
The sentence pattern is
soy name,
I'm name.
soy name,
To use this pattern, simply replace the name placeholder with your name. Imagine you're Karen. In Spanish,
Karen, Karen,
say, I'm Karen. Ready?
Soy Karen.
I'm Karen.
Soy Karen.
Note that Mexican people have two last names. The first one comes from the father's family and the second one from the mother's. In a formal situation, people might give you only their first last name or they might give you both. For example, Angel's full name is Ángel Salazar Almonte. In a formal situation, such as when he's talking to a colleague, he might say, Soy Ángel Salazar. I'm Ángel Salazar. Soy Ángel Salazar. Or in an even more formal situation, such as when he's introducing himself to a new boss, he would probably give both last names. Soy Ángel Salazar Almonte. I'm Ángel Salazar Almonte. Soy Ángel Salazar Almonte. You should give your full name in business or formal situations, but in more casual settings, it's fine to give only your first name.
Let's look at some examples of people introducing themselves. Listen and repeat, or speak along with the native speakers.
Mucho gusto. Soy Ángel. Mucho gusto. Soy Ángel.
Mucho gusto. Soy Mark. Mucho gusto. Soy Mark.
Mucho gusto. Soy Karen. Mucho gusto. Soy Karen.
Mucho gusto. Soy Víctor. Mucho gusto. Soy Víctor.
Mucho gusto. Me llamo Sonia. Mucho gusto. Me llamo Sonia.
Did you notice how the last speaker replaces soy with me llamo?
She says,
Mucho gusto. Me llamo Sonia.
Nice to meet you. My name is Sonia.
Mucho gusto. Me llamo Sonia.
This pattern uses the phrase,
Me llamo.
which literally means I myself call, but translates as my name is.
Me llamo.
First is the word
Me.
meaning me.
Me. Me.
After this is
Llamo.
I call.
Llamo. Llamo.
Note
Llamo.
is the shortened form of
Yo llamo.
In Spanish,
Yo.
I is usually omitted.
Llamo.
Is from the verb
Llamar.
meaning to call. Next is the name.
Sonia. Sonia.
Altogether, it's
Me llamo Sonia.
literally, myself I call Sonia, but it translates as, my name is Sonia.
Me llamo Sonia.
The pattern is,
Me llamo name.
my name is name.
Me llamo name.
You should be aware of this pattern, but for this lesson, we'll use the sentence pattern,
Soy name.
I'm name.
Soy name.
Let's review the key vocabulary.
Hola.
Hello,
Hola. Hola. Let's review. Respond to the prompts by speaking aloud. Then repeat after me, focusing on pronunciation. Ready? Do you remember how to say, nice to meet you? Mucho gusto. Mucho gusto.
and the Spanish pronunciation of Mark's name?
Mark. Mark.
Do you remember how Mark says, I'm Mark?
Soy Mark. Soy Mark.
Do you remember how Mark says, nice to meet you, I'm Mark?
Mucho gusto. Soy Mark.
Mucho gusto. Soy Mark. Do you remember how to say hello? Hola. Hola.
Finally, do you remember how Angel says, hi, I'm Angel, nice to meet you?
Hola, soy Ángel. Mucho gusto.
Hola. Soy Ángel. Mucho gusto.
Let's practice. Imagine you're Karen.
Karen.
Respond to Angel's self-introduction. Ready?
Hola, soy Ángel. Mucho gusto.
Mucho gusto. Soy Karen.
Listen again and repeat.
Mucho gusto. Soy Karen. Mucho gusto. Soy Karen.
Let's try another. Imagine you're Sonia.
Sonia.
Ready?
Hola, soy Ángel. Mucho gusto.
Mucho gusto. Soy Sonia.
Listen again and repeat.
Mucho gusto. Soy Sonia. Mucho gusto. Soy Sonia.
Let's try one more. Imagine you're Victor.
Víctor.
Ready?
Hola, soy Ángel. Mucho gusto.
Mucho gusto. Soy Víctor.
Listen again and repeat.
Mucho gusto. Soy Víctor. Mucho gusto. Soy Víctor. This is the end of this lesson.
Remember, these can-do lessons are about learning practical language skills. What's next? Show us what you can do. When you're ready, take your assessment. You can take it again and again, so try anytime you like. Our teachers will assess it and give you your results.
Hasta la próxima. See you next time.
Well done! Now you know how to introduce yourself in Spanish. That's all there is to it. Keep practicing and move on to the next lesson.
This is the end of this lesson.
Now, here's what you can do to cement this conversation in your head. Review the conversation with our dialogue tool and lesson transcripts. Study the key words and phrases with our spaced repetition flashcards. Review the key grammar and cultural tips inside the lesson notes. And test yourself with our assessment tests. So click the link in the description right now and sign up for your free lifetime account to access our Can-Do course.
Hasta la próxima. See you next time.
Hi everybody, Rosa here. Welcome to As a Teacher, where I'll answer some of your most common Spanish questions. The question for this lesson is, when do you use the conjunction u instead of o? First, let's go over some background information on how to use o. O is a conjunction in Spanish that means or. It's a conjunción coordinada disyuntiva, or disjunctive coordinating conjunction. That means it connects two different sentences and it used to give contrast or connect contrary opinions. An example of contrast would be: sal a trabajar ahora o no llegarás a tiempo, meaning go to work now or you are not going to be on time. Here that means if part A, go to work, doesn't happen, part B, you are not going to be there on time, will happen. An example of connecting contrary opinions would be: ¿qué quieres de postre? ¿Helado o fruta? Meaning, what do you want for dessert? Ice cream or fruit? This is the most common use of o. Now, on to the question for this lesson. O changes to u when or precedes a word that begins with an O sound. This includes H and O together because H is silent in Spanish. Let's go through some examples so you can learn when to use U instead of O. First up, más vale que vengas a la hora u otra persona te quitará el sitio, meaning you better come on time or another person is going to take your place. Here, the word otra, another, begins with an O sound, therefore we change O to U. Another example would be: puede utilizar esta mesa para jardín u hogar, meaning you can use this table for the garden or home. So why do the words change? That's easy, because it's easier to pronounce. How was this lesson? Pretty interesting, right? Do you have any more questions? Leave them in the comments below and I'll try to answer them. Hasta luego, see you later!
Hola a todos, soy Lucía. Hi everyone, I am Lucía. Welcome to SpanishPod101.com. Español en 3 minutos, the fastest, easiest, and most fun way to learn Spanish. In the last lesson, we learned how to introduce ourselves in Spanish. In this lesson, we are going to learn how to use good manners as we thank people. ¿Están listos? Are you ready? Empecemos. Let's start. There are several ways to thank someone. Let's start with the easiest. It's just one word. Gracias. Gracias. Gracias means thank you. To say thank you very much, you just need to add muchas before it. Muchas means very or a lot. Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias. For a simple thanks, gracias will be enough. If you want to say more than just thanks, muchas gracias is good to use. Now, how do you respond to thank you in Spanish? It's easy. The most common way to say you're welcome is de nada. De nada. Nada means nothing. So, de nada literally means it's nothing. So we use it to mean you're welcome. So when someone says gracias to you, you can simply reply with de nada. Now it's time for Lucia's insights. If you're not sure about whether to use gracias or muchas gracias, keeping it simple is always your safest bet. You don't have to worry about formal or informal situations. Gracias can be used with just about anyone, anywhere, and at any time. Do you know how to say goodbye to your friends in Spanish? In our next lesson, we will learn these and other greetings. Hasta la próxima. See you then.
Expand your vocabulary with our core 2,000 words ebook. It's free and packed with essential expressions that you'll use on a daily basis. Start building your vocabulary today. Click the link in the description below to download your free Spanish ebook before it's gone.